question 8. And the problem is -5 times cosecant of x minus root square root of 2 times 2 times cosine x plus square root of 3 equals 0. First thing we can do is divide both sides by -5. And we'll end up with, whoops, cosecant, whoops. Cosecant of x minus square root of 2 times 2 cosine of x plus square root of 3 equals 0. Well, now we can say that either one of these parentheses can equal 0, so we'll start off with the first one. Oops. So cosecant of x minus root 2 equals 0. So we can say that cosecant of x, we can just get rid of the parentheses. And square root of 2 equals 0. Well, then we can add square root of 2 to each side. So cosecant of x equals square root of 2. Know that cosecant of x is equal to 1 over the sine of x. So then say 1 over the sine of x is root 2. We can divide both sides by the sine of x. Or multiply, sorry. Multiply both sides by the sine of x. And we'll get 1 equals root 2 times the sine of x. And we'll divide by root 2. So 1 over root 2 equals sine of x. And I don't remember what it's called, but I need to make this root 2 get out of the denominator. So we'll multiply each side by root 2, or each top and bottom, and we'll get sine of x equals root 2 over 2. Well, any angle that the sine is root 2 over 2 is going to be a multiple of 45 degrees, and that's, if we're looking at a graph, we're going to want it to be positive. So where the sine, or the y value, is positive, is going to be up in these two quadrants. So we're going to have pi over 4 and 3 pi over 4. I'll get rid of some of this. So then it's going to be pi over 4 plus 2k pi, or 3 pi over 4 plus 2k pi. And that's this one right here. So oops. For the first one, we end up with pi over 4 and 3 pi over 4. Well, now we're going to do the second one. So the second one is 2 cosine of x plus root 3 equals 0. So we're going to subtract root 3 on both sides. 2 cosine of x equals negative root 3. And then we can divide both sides by 2. So cosine cosine of x equals negative root 3 over 2. Well, an angle where the x value is negative root 3 over 2, there's going to be in these quadrants. So it's going to be 5 pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6 plus 2k pi. So our answers are all possible solutions. Satisfy the equation, we get pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 6, and 7 pi over 6. And that is how the cookie crumbles.